Our first speaker, we have an entrepreneur who obtained his master's degree in creative studies here at Buffalo State College. He's responsible for developing new and never before seen retail products and believes the application of creative solutions to traditional outdated business practices, coupled with his enthusiastic approach to problem solving, are at the root of his success. Fun fact about him, he owns sheep. Please welcome Joseph Reimels.
Thank you. Let me tell you my experience with dyslexia. Let me tell you my experience with dyslexia. Imagine, if you will, just for a second, imagine you're getting a piece of data. It could be anything. A lot of people use 2 plus 2, so I'll use that. Let's just say the data is 2 plus 2 and it's coming into your head. That data is received by me into blackness. Absolute blackness. That data does not illuminate. It does not take form. It goes into the black hole. And if you know anything about a black hole, you know that black holes are made of dark matter. And dark matter is something that you can't touch, you can't see, and it sucks light out of a room or its surroundings. Actually, I'll go one further on dark matter. Dark matter is actually something that is a gravitational force that takes all matter out of an area. That's what I got. Dyslexia is a black hole. And now that you might understand a little bit about my childhood, of being in a dark room with no doors, no light, and no escape. And I'll tell you, when you have blackness, that scares you. That absolutely terrifies you. So, now you know it exists. You know yourself something's wrong. 40 million Americans suffer, and I say suffer, from dyslexia. And I don't say that lightly. 40 million Americans suffer from dyslexia. And here's the interesting stat, everyone. Only 2 million of those 40 million know they have it. So you want to talk about darkness? How about the 38 million that don't know what's going on? Now, I am really good at misdirection because as a student, I would have to look to my left and to my right at a desk when everyone was doing their thing and smiling. School's great, yay! Woo! Hey, I got an answer, I got the answer, woo! Yeah, school's fun. I got to watch that every single day, and all I saw in my head was darkness. To the left, to the right. And notice I said left when I pointed over here. You know, 40 million Americans have dyslexia, and only 2 million know they have it. So you wonder, how do they get through? How do they cope through this? Well, just like a magician, you need to be really good at misdirection. And I'm the best. I'm the best. I could run a room. I could entertain like the best of them. Nobody knew that there was problems in seat 2A. Never. I was very entertaining. I like to make people laugh, like to make people feel comfortable. Oh, you don't know that answer? I don't either, so don't worry about it. It's fine. It is ironic, though, that whoever came up with the word dyslexia in this academia format, they named it dyslexia. It could be the most difficult word to spell, and yet to this day, I do not know how to spell it. That person is a sadist. What they should make it easy and make it very, very connected to these type of people and just say, screwed. Because I can relate to that. It is ironic as well that when you see dyslexia brochures as a child, when you're meeting with a psychologist or when you're learning about what darkness comes before you, every single brochure has a child slumped over on a desk, migraine, I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't look like fun, and this is the brochure they hand you and go, you got that, great work, that's what you got to look forward to. Not one brochure had a smiling child. Not one brochure had a smiling child. So imagine this is what you're left with. And you know, I got to tell you, I'm in class, and the only thing I'm thinking of right now is, man, I could do that job. Hire me. I'll be in that picture because I know what that guy's going through. And you know what's ironic? That guy doesn't even have dyslexia, and he's in that picture, and he's taking jobs from dyslexics. That's what kills me about that. I could have that job, and someone took it. So when you're sitting there and you're misdirecting, you're really at a point in your life, in your career, in your educational career, trying to find purpose. I want to be part of something that I have concrete and I can have gravity and I feel like I have purpose. You don't feel that when you're drifting in dark matter. So I searched, and I'm going to share with you a dirty secret right now. And I am proud of it, because there are two words that I learned at a very early age: risk and persistence. Risk and persistence. And I'm going to teach you now the dirty part of creativity. I'm going to teach you the stuff they don't talk about. The madness, the anger. Because while I'm misdirecting, I go home every day and I'm angry. So that's a dual personality to carry with you, and that's a lot on your shoulders. Risk and persistence. So when you get clever and you're misdirecting at a high level, you find out that the only way to go into college is through a test called the SAT. I want to learn. I want to go to school. It did not defeat me. I want to continue. And they say, not for you. You got to pass that SAT. Really? Do you know what you get for your name on the SATs? 500 points, that's a fact, look it up. I guarantee I got 500 points. But I failed it. I failed that thing. And I had to get a letter. I had to get a letter to backdoor me into college. Because of risk and persistence, I got in. But I'm not done there, because I want to go on for my master's. I want to be the first one in my family to get a master's degree. I got a problem. What's that problem called? The GRE. Do you know how many you get points for your name on that one? They don't give a shit about your name. So you're not getting that. You're not getting that. So I had to go through a library and research every program by book, because Google didn't exist at that point. And I went through every book looking for a master's degree that did not accept GRE. There were 3 at the top of my list: there was a clown school in Paris. If I wanted to be an opera singer at the Louvre. And then there was the Center for Creative Studies. Let's give him a big round of applause. And I got to tell you, when I got there, I felt like I had come home. I'm telling you, I would do anything to this day for that department because they said, bring us your tired, bring us your poor, bring us your, you got mistakes, you got problems, you think things backwards, come on in, we're going to figure it out together. And if that doesn't warm your heart about education and about wanting to do for more, every one of my colleagues that are speaking here today are speaking of light, and they're getting these people in the doors. They are paving the way to look at the brain differently and say, let's celebrate this. Let's celebrate this. So, you think, well, Reimels, you must have been a successful entrepreneur because they taught you so much at the study. I'll tell you what they taught me. I am so self-assured. I know exactly who I am. And this bountiful of confidence that I have right now, it encouraged me to take more risk and to become more persistent because now I'm self-assured. And if you want to know one thing that catapulted me, it was my father once when he said to me when I made my first major sale as an entrepreneur, he said, you know, Reimels, you know, Joseph, you changed when you left the center. I've never seen such a change in you. Every single day when I was at that department, what was different from my experiences in all education was that every single person on that faculty, to the person that took the phones, smiled every single day. And that was a big deal. The smiling made me feel that this was my environment. And you say, how can that possibly be? It gets smiling, come on. Seriously, Reimels? Yes. Yes. So I left the department. And I went off on my own. And I'm going to tell you something right now. When you go off on your own, it is a fluid world out there. And if you want to be successful, you must have in your back pocket risk and persistence. There are two types of creativities in the world right now. There's soft creativity and hard creativity. Soft creativity is Newton underneath a tree. He's sleeping. He's woken up by an apple, and he goes, hey, how'd that happen? I'm not going to talk about this. The hard part of that equation is what you don't realize is the hard part of creativity, where it took hundreds of years to prove gravitational force based on his sleepy dream. It's the execution of ideas that's the hard part. So when I took the challenge and took on products that never existed in the country in a specialized space, and I don't want to say this lightly, but I will publicly say it. When you're sleeping in your car for months because you can't afford a hotel room, going door to door to door to hearing no's by numerous CEOs in a certain field, and you're down to $1,100 in your checking account, and that's it. That's risk. But you know it's going to work. And it did. I opened over 3,500 store doors with a certain product. I'm responsible for one rep alone for one bank, $190 million of their revenue. One person. And you know what I learned? I'll tell you what I learned from the center, and it never left me. Always be collaborative. Never, ever, thank you, Dr. Firestein, never be competitive. And ask the right questions. So if you want to know what creativity is and what you learn at that center, You learn how to ask the right questions, and you learn to have a collaborative spirit. And I can assure you that you will be different, and you will definitely be different from every other sales rep out there if you go into sales. You will stand out. 40 million Americans have dyslexia, but 38 million of them do not know they have it. My call to arms today, my call to action, this is my call to action for me and for the center. I want whoever understands, whoever has the power to grasp what I'm saying here today and really take it to heart and say, how can I learn from this experience? How can I learn from this experience? And how will this be a major benefit for the 38 million people that you will come in contact with in your life as educators? I want the 38 million to come home. I want them, as I did when I walked the Center for Creative Studies hallways, to see color once more. Kaizen, Dr. Mary Murdoch, thank you. Kaizen.